Finance Committee to order. Roll call, Mr. Farrar, please.
Mr. Chairman, Finance Committee meeting, David Bergstrass.
Here.
Mark Finkel.
Here.
Albert Hayes.
Here.
Tom Stover.
Here.
Michael Clark.
Here.
Robert Leslie.
Here.
Robert Fulton.
Here.
John Hudson. Here. Richard Farrar. Here, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. A motion to adopt or revise the meeting agenda.
So moved.
No,
Second.
That'd be you, Tom.
That'd be me.
And that's germane to
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Oops.
Motion's adopted.
So this was to adopt the agenda?
Yes. Yes.
First was Mr.
Finkel.
Finkel. Thank you.
Sure.
And then Mr. Stover. The vote was unanimous.
The approval of the June 11, 2013 Finance Committee meeting minutes.
So moved.
Mr. Finkel.
Second.
Mr. Stover.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's approved. Committee business. New business, status of serial bond issue for the purpose of capital projects in the Continental Dam. Mr. Ferrara?
Mr. Chairman, on page 19, I have a brief summary. 20, 21 through 23 was the questions and information provided to the bond council concerning an issue of whether or not the bonds could be tax-free. And so let me start off. Janine Caruso has been on board. She is our fiscal advisor. She has sat in on several conference calls with bond counsel, and bond counsel primarily at this point is Seth Bryant, who is one of the partners, and Charles Keefe. I've spent most of my time with Charles Keefe. They are continuing, they're basically at this point, their current opinion is that the bond, which is covering both the sirens and improvements at Conklingville, both would cause the bond to be taxable. And IRS code drives this. There's some scenarios that they offered to help us understand why this might be a taxable bond. And in most cases, it has to do with the private activity at the dam, which we all know to be EJ West. And the fact that the money that we receive from them exceeds a percentage, which is a test in terms of whether or not it would be a taxable bond. So the test seemed to work. So what we've done at this point is we've reached out to, Mr. Leslie's reached out to the Division of Budget. They've responded, they have their own bond counsel. We had to provide them additional information, so they're still looking at it. My expectation is, at this point, we may be maybe 6 of one, half dozen the other. I don't think it's going to change the issue dramatically, whether it's taxable or tax-free. And my concern would be if they can't give a decision that made half of the issue taxable and the other half tax-free, because the issue would fall under a threshold that would make it not very desirable to be picked up. So we may have to bite the bullet, but we're not there yet, and we certainly have some time. In terms of time and the timing, Janine Caruso feels very confident that once the underwriters are on board, which should happen within a week to 10 days, that this issue could go actually to market in 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. But that's well within, I think, the time frame to take care of the project we need to take care of. I've also instructed Keith and Brian to look into the board's authority to issue the same type of bond, serial bonds, for litigation, for any judgments and any settlement of a judgment. They believe that they can get that back to me in terms of where the board would derive its authority in time for bond resolutions for both the initial 1.28 and any bond that we would go out to market for to cover any settlements, and this is for the refund issue, by the October meeting. Again, giving us, I think, ample time to have funds in place for capital projects, sirens, and anything that we believe we might need to cover settlements by and before the end of the year. And I didn't want to get into a whole lot of detail on the latter, so I'll leave it at that unless the council would.
I've got a question about the sirens.
Sure.
If you can answer. What, other than the FERC mandate, what drives the necessity for the sirens? Size of the dam, population downstream? I'm looking at now, are we gonna have to do this in other areas?
FERC is the reason for our
what's their logic
the
behind it?
FERC license and the emergency action plan are what compel us to install.
But are there
At this
actual-
point,
Are there actual
pursue
parameters?
installation.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Are there actual parameters dictating that we have to have a siren? Do we need one in Indian Lake?
No, it's the, yes, the hazard classification
Okay.
and the fact that it's licensed and that there's an emergency action plan required by FERC.
There's no license in Indian Lake.
There is no
Oh,
license.
there's no
in
license in
Lake.
Indian Lake, okay.
We have emergency action plans.
Sure.
We've developed those over the last 10 years. Even at our facilities that were not FERC licensed, and even before DEC enacted its revised dam safety regulations, which required them.
Mhm.
They've only been in place required by the DEC for the last 2 or 3 years. And we've had them in place though for 7 to 9 years at our different facilities. But because Great Sacandaga Lake is Federal Energy Regulatory Commission licensed, they are the ones that
Okay.
can require it.
Got it. All right. I just wonder what would come down the road after this. Because, thanks.
Mr. Ferraro, would you recommend we postpone action on this?
Right, and it really, I was not at this point asking the board to take any action. The next action of the board should be at the October meeting, and that would be to address the 2 bond resolutions. And once the bond resolutions are acted on, then everything after that is basically scheduling the issuance, getting the official statement in line, working with the underwriters, getting it.
Should we have a motion to advance it to the October meeting?
Just table it for now.
I don't think it's necessary at this point. If there is a, yeah, right, yeah, I think we want to wait at this point and see what happens, but again,
Just table it.
We're hopeful that that
There's
by the
nothing to
next
table at
meeting,
this
that we'll
point.
be in the
That's true.
position where we have a bond resolution.
correct.
Okay.
The October meeting.
Okay.
So at this point, we're not asking the board to.
That's how you just update the status.
Correct.
Good.
We'll table that until the October meeting, and that is time for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn?
Mr. Pinto,
Okay, second.
Mr. Stover.
All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous?
Finance committee meeting